Hey guys, it's coreross and welcome to 6 News. Today we're going over this post by Alexandre on Reddit, and it's a French interview with game director for Rainbow Six Siege. So he's translated it and he's put it into this really nice bullet point post. I'm not going to go over everything, so I recommend you actually go and check it out. There's a link in the description below. But let's talk about some of the most important things in it. So first of all, he says that Year 3 Season 2 Italian operators will be both defenders, and he actually confirmed this twice. So we now know that the Italian season will have two defenders to balance out the previous season Operation Chimera, which had two attackers. What he also says is that they learned from the last season, which is Operation Chimera, with the two attackers, and they will not ship another season with two attackers or two defenders. So they'll be the only nation in the game that only has operators on one team, which is, I think, quite interesting. And it means that the next two seasons, so we've got the Americans and British coming up after the Italian season, and then we've got the Morocco operators coming in to wrap up Year 3, they will both be split up between both teams. And he said it wasn't really interesting for them, but they enjoyed shipping 3 operators in Blood Orchid and White Noise. So I think like the player base, getting 2 operators on one team and none on the other kind of did make it a little bit more boring than your usual season. It looks like the developers kind of had the same thing of actually implementing that too. Now he also said that Outbreak will not be coming back to the game, and he actually insists. He said that if they wanted to bring it back to the game later, they would have to dedicate resources to keep it working with their new tech frameworks and keep it viable with new operators and game mechanics. It's not sustainable. So it sounds like Outbreak will never return. Never ever. That is interesting, and if that's it gone, that really is it gone, which is a real pity. But oh well. Now, interestingly, he did at one point have the 100% CPU bug. So he bought a new computer since he couldn't play Rainbow Six at home. So he's not the only one with the 100% CPU bug, and obviously if he can't get it fixed, I guess there's a big problem there to getting it fixed. Now, when it comes to new game modes, he did say that they have worked on a hardcore mode, because of course we already have the realistic game mode in the game, but it's only in custom. And he talks about having a hardcore month. So maybe a limited time event that would just be for a brand new game mode, which would be cool. I would love to see how that would actually work in the game. Would be nice. He also talks about the leaks for the brand new operators. Of course, we've already seen both new operators for the Italian season because they were accidentally put into the game files for the game. So it comes straight from the game. And he says, it's your usual answer. He cannot confirm or deny it. So, of course, it probably is indeed the real operators. And you can also see they're definitely going to rework some vanilla and Year 1 DLC operators. So this is very, very interesting. We, of course, know that they moved the mid-season reinforcements, no longer doing that anymore. Mid-season reinforcements are gone. So instead, they're going to do the reworks at the beginning of the season, which does make the beginning of the season very, very interesting, because we're going to have a new map this season for the Italians. We're going to have 2 defenders, and we're also going to have reworks of operators too. So it's going to be a lot of content for the brand new season. And it's interesting that we now seem to know that we're going to get some vanilla reworks, but also Year 1 DLC reworks. So who do you think in Year 1 is going to get a major overhaul? And this, of course, isn't just like a buff or nerf. It's a complete rework of the ability, like Glaz getting his thermal scope. So we could see a lot of really interesting things going on here. Now, another thing is actually one of the reasons that Operation Health was a success, and that is before Operation Health, they couldn't rework maps. It was impossible for them to do it with their current frameworks. Whereas now, after Operation Health, they're in a position where they can go in and actually change and buff maps. We've obviously already seen what they're going to do with Clubhouse, for instance, and that might come with the Italian season, or might follow later on. Now, another potential game mode that he also brings up is implementing a vanilla mode in the game, which would mean you'd be able to load into a playlist where it's basically the launch version of Rainbow Six Siege. So the launch operators, you know, Thermite would have his frag grenades and stuff like that. It would be how the game was when it was first launched. That I think would be sweet. And he talks about it as a limited time event. I think that would work really, really cool if we could jump in, play the game as it was, and have a lot of fun with it. He also talks about when they first launched the game, Chichanka was actually considered to be too strong, and they were scared that he would break the game. And of course, I guess they must have nerfed him before release, and now he's crap. So there we go. He used to be overpowered back in the day, I guess. Now, another thing the developers have been doing is they've been releasing some more of their infographics, this time fixed on white noise, and they've been putting out some interesting stuff. They'll be putting out more probably this week as well. But the stuff they put out so far is Dokkaebi's logic bombs, which currently sits at 190 million logic bombs used, which is really cool. And you can also see the operators killed with the phones ringing is 38 million, which is a pretty good number, isn't it, for the amount of logic bombs set off? I think that's pretty damn good. And they also showed the percentage of aces on attackers and defenders, with attackers being 0.13 and defenders being 0.15. Very close number between the two, which is amazing. And also incredibly low number if you're looking for an ace. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I will catch you next time. Bye for now.